right, y'all. Next stop, Hamilton.
Hamilton. I'm not throwing away my shot.
So as you can see, this is our site. Really a good site. Non's hitching up right now, but those are the bathrooms right there behind him. And there's laundry facilities in there as well. I will say the office hours are limited. So that's one negative, but we are basically walking distance from the museum, which is great. But this gives you some idea of the campground. It has a grill, very well tended. Nice big sites. So you've got a good amount of space. It's been very enjoyable.
I knew this brand new white hose wasn't going to stay white long. That's a little bit of water out of there. And put it away.
Oscar, are you ready to go? You ready to go? All right, y'all. Next stop, Hamilton.
Which one? Summer vibes.
I think that's cute.
When you travel as much as us, you get your fair share of different kinds of campgrounds. You got some that are amazing and great, got lots of amenities, and usually those cost a lot as well because of those amenities. And then you got places like this that are a bit of a work in progress. I can tell that this campground used to be a lot bigger at one time, and they're trying to rescue it, I guess. There's a lot of things that you can tell they're trying to improve and redo. Right now there's no laundry in this campground because they are rebuilding the laundry room. So there's lots of things about this campground that leave a little bit to be desired, but they're trying, they're making progress. So I've got to give them credit for that. It's not the greatest campground we've been in, but we got full hookup. We're staying here for a few days, and then we're going to be heading on back north, back to Tennessee. And here's some views of this campground. As you can see, they've got some sort of a bus just parked here. I don't know why it's there. If they're going to keep that there as a decoration or something, I would suggest at least paint it. They're working on this right now. This is like a game pavilion, and they got a ping pong table and some cornhole and stuff like that, but the laundry room is totally being redone. You could tell that that's a new window, and they've been painting on the outside, so it is a work in progress. So I've got to give them some credit for that.
We have been playing with Instant Pot meals.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. It is cream cheese. There's some cheddar, bacon, chicken, ranch seasoning, water, and I made the cavatappi pasta separate. So this is dinner.
Doing our laundry at the truck stop.
Actually, this is a creative solution. Thanks to you.
Okay, Hamilton, Alabama is not your typical vacation destination. I admit that. It is a small town. There's not much here at all. They are having some kind of a festival downtown. But Hamilton, the reason why we came to Hamilton is because my niece is graduating from the Ramp ministry school. She invited us to come down here and watch her graduate, and that's the main reason why we came to Alabama. But we decided to make a trip out of it and see some of the sites around here, and we did our research of what's around Hamilton, Alabama, and that's what took us on this great adventure that took us up to Muscle Shoals, Alabama, where we learned so much about the music industry and its history, and it is amazing. I'm serious. There's a certain documentary, if you watch, it's called Muscle Shoals, and it tells the documentary about the Swampers and Rick Hall and Fame Studios, the history behind this studio, and then the one that the Swampers started as well. And it shows me that what is portrayed in the media and the news a lot of times has nothing to do with reality. Because if you know what was really being broadcast over television during that time with the civil rights movement and all this segregation and all these Jim Crow laws, and if you go by what you see on TV, you think that, oh, Alabama's the most racist place in the world. It turns out it's nothing like that. The average American person living in Alabama was not racist at all, and Rick Hall and the Swampers proved that. And many of the things that they did broke down that stereotype of racism in the South, because they worked with everybody. They brought people of different cultures, different races, all together to make great music. And we're going to tell you a lot more about that as we show you some of the scenes that we've seen, because we went and toured both studios in Alabama. Okay, let's start with Fame Studios, because like the sign says, that's where it all started. Fame Studios was started by Rick Hall, who started in a very humble upbringing in a small farm with no plumbing or electrical. Rick Hall would become a giant in the music industry because this man knew how to live by his ears rather than his eyes. To him, it didn't matter what you looked like. It only mattered what you sounded like. Rick Hall knew great talent when he heard it. That's why he was able to hire these 4 musicians to be the recording session studio band, who would later become known as the Swampers. Even today, many people are shocked to find out that the band that's behind Aretha Franklin is some country white boys from Alabama.
For me, one of the things that was the most striking about all of this is that all of this was going on during a time of great strides in civil rights. This man was a trailblazer in that way, in that he was looking past racial divides. And it's amazing to see and to be a witness to all of that history, and to see that we're not as far apart as we think we are.
Aretha Franklin, Little Richard, Wilson Pickett, Etta James, Lou Rawls, Otis Redding, Candy Staton, Clarence Carter, the Osmonds, Jerry Reed, the band Alabama, Mac Davis, the Gatlin Brothers, Greg Allman Band. And since 2000, they've recorded the Dixie Chicks, George Strait, Martina McBride, Travis Tritt, Sarah Evans, Cindy Thompson, Aaron Tippin, Billy Ray Cyrus, John Michael Montgomery, Perfect Stranger, Three of Hearts, Chad Braddock, Rebecca Lynn Howard, Michael Peterson, Kristen Garner, and Graham Brown, Wild Horses, and Kidney Chesney. And these are just a few of the artists that recorded their sounds at Fame Studios. And though the sign says where it all started, when it comes to segregation and discrimination in the music industry, you could say it's where it all ended as well. Rick Hall was definitely a trailblazer in the music industry, and Fame Studios definitely made their mark on the world. But that's really only half the story, because later on, the Swampers ended up making a studio of their own. Barry Beckett, Roger Hawkins, David Hood, and Jimmy Johnson were the Swampers. Their very first hit song was Take a Letter Maria by R.B. Greaves, and from that, the magic just grew. In this music studio, which was originally a coffin showroom, the magic continued with bands such as the Rolling Stones, Willie Nelson, Bob Seger, Elton John, Rod Stewart, Cher, Lynyrd Skynyrd, and many, many more. Later on, they joined the band Traffic and went on tour for many years. By the end of their career, they would be associated with over 500 hit records, but they will forever be immortalized by the hit song Sweet Home Alabama. In the last verse by Lynyrd Skynyrd, it says, "Muscle Shoals has got the Swampers, and they've been known to pick a song or two." Even today, the media likes to separate us by emphasizing the bad and the evil in the world. They like to distort history by emphasizing all of the bad while ignoring all of the good. Because rage equals ratings. And if they can get you angry enough, they know that you'll tune in more often. As I travel across this country, I see a very different picture than what's portrayed in the media. If you look for the evil in the world, you will find it in everything. But if you look for the good, you will find it in everything as well.
Yeah. Well, the history of this place is just so amazing. You can't keep it a secret. It's just, yeah.
See, we got backstage passes to Fame Studios. There's a documentary that I would love for you to watch called Muscle Shoals. I'll put a link in the description that tells you the whole story about Rick Hall and the Swampers. And that documentary will amaze you. And it really changes the stereotype of the people that lived during that time period. That's one of the reasons why we travel so much to these historical locations. Because a lot of times when you go to the actual place, and you talk to the locals and speak to people that may have lived during that time period, you get a totally different perspective than what's portrayed in the media. And you find out the truth of what really happened. A lot of times, people make assumptions and they go with limited information, and they don't get the full picture of what went on during that time period. And I think that's very important to know the whole truth and to get the big picture and to know why things happened the way they did. And sometimes there's a different conclusion that you come to by finding out all the information firsthand. Really good reason to travel, really good reason to get out and go to these locations of historical significance and learn something new. Always when you're out on the road, it's an opportunity to learn something new. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and until next time, happy camping.
If you liked the video,
be sure to give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned for bloopers, and until next time, happy camping. Studios.
We are at my niece's graduation from the Rank School of Ministry here in Alabama. So this is the reason we made this trip.
Yeah, and it's cold in here. The air conditioner's right behind us. So I went out and got our jackets.
Now, the cool thing about this album is the address is the name of the album. Cher had titled the record 3614 Jackson Highway, right? Now, that was not on the building. A lot of people don't realize that wasn't on the building. The Swampers, they copied the graphic from her album. Cool.
That is cool. Oh, baby.
What?
You realize what that is?
Bucks.
Mechanical bull. Is it named Fu Manchu? You gotta look at that again.